Welcome to the Beers and Fears podcast. What is going on, Horror Nation? This is Tucker Miller.
I'm Rowdy.
And this is the Beers and Fears podcast. How are you guys doing? We are doing good. So, you all right over there?
Yeah, don't worry about what I'm doing.
Okay.
You mind your own.
I'll fucking kill you.
No, you won't.
So, today we built
Fuck me. Ow.
we made slingshots and
Ouch.
we've been shooting each other with them, and Roddy just tried to shoot me but ended up smashing his finger.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Oh, fuck you, man. Were you trying to kill me? He put a Skittle in there.
Shit hurts with fucking, like, spit wads in it. So.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. You probably would have fucking put a hole in me.
Or broken the fucking window behind you.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, God.
I'm fucking burpy.
It's all that coke.
Yeah. So, today, we don't have a cocktail for you guys.
Nah.
What we do have is old traditional, aka rum and coke.
Yeah, just some rum and coke.
It's really simple. What you do is you take
ice.
It's okay. Go ahead. Yeah, there you go.
Put it in a cup.
You got some ice. This drink is clearly served on the rocks. And then you take your rum. Are we making this rowdy style or the correct style? Girl.
I'm making this one mine.
Oh, hot damn. Okay, if you're rowdy, you're going to drink a rum on the rocks.
With a eye
Like,
droplet full of coke.
yeah, holy shit. I think we're heading for a fun podcast today. Ooh, that's going to be a spicy boy. So today...
Surprisingly, it's not as spicy as it smells.
So, yeah. Today, the rum we are drinking is Sugar Island Spice Rum, which is a Caribbean rum with spiced caramel and natural flavors. 44% alcohol by volume, which is 92 proof for those of you who don't know how proofs work.
I can't remember the exact ratio. It's weird.
This handcrafted rum comes from only the finest of Caribbean sugarcane. Okay. Hold on. Sugar Island. In 1731, in accordance with the regulations relating to His Majesty's service at sea, British sailors were given a daily rate. British sailors were given a daily ration of rum. Coincidentally, mermaid sightings in the Caribbean rose significantly around this time. Sailors believed mermaids rescued shipwrecked sailors and brought them to Sugar Island. Many great ships have been lost at sea forever, changing mermaids and looking for the mystical island. Embrace the myth. Produced and bottled by Sugar Island Rum Company, Mira Loma, California, 91752. www.sugarislandrum.com. Shameless plug. Guess what? We're not fucking sponsored. But, this is some spicy shit. And not spicy as in like spiced rum, because, I mean, this is spiced rum. But, this will put hair on your fucking nutsack.
What did you say the proof was?
92?
Nice. That's just kind of the...
Come on.
Well, I'm still reading.
It's nice. We'll take a sniffer. Yeah, you get, okay, we're going to be totally honest. First thing you smell is, rubbing alcohol.
Alcohol proof in the U.S. is defined as twice the percentage of alcohol by volume.
You had to look that up?
Well, because it's different. There's different.
Well, for the United States, it's really fucking simple. Yeah, literally, you just take the percentage and double it, and that's what makes your proof.
Roughly.
Well, they like round it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So like, this is 46. So there you go. Simple as that. 92. Yeah, if that's the only time it rounds is when you have issues with like
Points.
point percentages. They just round up to the next proof to be safe.
Ugh.
Okay, so there's slight vanilla on the nose. A little bit of caramel, a little bit, not as much at all.
I'm
Just
glad
like
you're doing that. I can't smell shit other than rubbing alcohol.
vanilla, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of anise. No cinnamon at all. Um, hmm. Kind of a barrel smell. Not like oakiness, but like just kind of woody. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it's barreled. With how dark that rum is, that has to be a barreled rum.
Not necessarily. Spices will make it that
Well, yeah, but
dark.
well, it's fucking hella dark.
Yeah, it's a nice amber. It's got a really, really fucking good cork on it. It's a synthetic cork, but it's got a solid.
Good?
It's got a solid fucking seal. Listen to this. Ooh, girl, that's good. And it takes a fucking push to get it back in there. It's good. It's I kind of wish we had this in like a 70 proof so we could kind of get more taste. I mean, this is we got this for like mixing drinks. But
Well, after smelling it and then tasting it, it
oh yeah, by the way, the smell on this will put you the fuck off of it.
yeah.
But once you taste it, oh my god.
I was pleasantly surprised.
It's
I mean,
so good.
Surprisingly, it's a cheaper rum. I mean, obviously, it ain't no like aristocrat rum where
Yeah.
it's fucking $9 for a fifth of it.
Yeah. What was this, about 20?
Yeah, it was 21.
Yeah. And we got that today and it's already half gone.
The smell of it sounds, the smell of it sounds, that's how fucking sideways the smell will get you.
It smells loud.
It fucking will burn your nose hairs, but it doesn't burn, it doesn't taste bad.
Okay, so if you drink a really high proof alcohol straight, because of course we tried it straight before we mixed it so that we could see what the booze itself tasted like. It'll take your breath away like most like some good alcohol does, but there is no burn.
Yeah.
Like you feel the cooling of the alcohol like on your throat and in your mouth. Like when you breathe in on it, it's real cool and it kind of takes your breath away, but it doesn't burn whatsoever. Like it's not like, oh, fire water. No, it's really smooth.
It coats your mouth.
Yeah,
pretty
it's kind of oily, but it's really good. For the price point. Specifically saying for the price point, plus it's really high proof. For the price point.
And for it is.
I mean, this isn't plantation overproof, but
no,
which I think is 98 proof.
Yeah, something like that.
No, it's 65% alcohol, so it's like 130. Yeah, it's something like that. It's like 130
it's probably
proof.
Close to.
It's fucking spicy.
It's probably closer to like a Bacardi 151.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm super burpy today.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, but overall, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely.
actually like the flavor of it over Kraken.
I don't know about that because I like the specific spices used in Kraken. I definitely like the 70% or the 70 proof to the 94 proof of Kraken.
Right.
I definitely like the 70 because you get a lot more flavor. And when I'm drinking rums, I like them for the flavor. I don't like, I'm not a big fan of super high proof rum just for the fact that I want to be able to sip on them and not be like gasping for air after every sip.
I mean, my palate, as far as alcohol goes, I'm used.
Is whiskey and whiskey only.
Well, it's not that. It's alcohol, like the taste of alcohol, isn't what bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't sit there and drink Jaeger or anything because I'm not a big fan of anise or black licorice.
See, anise doesn't bother me much. It's the licorice that fucks me up.
Well, the anise is a licorice flavor.
Well, like,
but
it's when it's condensed to the licorice flavor that anise starts to bother me.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, this having more, like, of an alcohol taste to it, it doesn't bother me at all. I actually prefer it that way. I like to be able to taste that I'm drinking.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, like, I have to be, like, kind of, like, in the mood for something that tastes boozy, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, we all do.
Like, I like to taste something that tastes boozy when, like, I'm like, all right, let's get fucked up today, which is not most days.
Pussy. No.
Man, it's always I'm either tired or I have a headache. And so I'm like, if I drink, the headache gets worse. Or if I drink, I just fall asleep before I get drunk.
Yeah, like your birthday.
Yeah, like my birthday.
When
all my friends came over and then I went to bed. and you guys all hung out in my living room.
Yeah, I mean...
hey, as long as everyone was happy, I didn't care.
Yeah, we made fun of you all night.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, just let me sit here and sleep on the couch. Just you guys hang out, have fun. I'm just gonna go to bed.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You fucking piece of shit.
Hey, I was fucking tired, man.
But anyway, you ready to start talking about this fucking movie?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, we don't have to. We can keep talking alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're probably tired of it by now.
I mean, we're already like 15 minutes in or something, so maybe we should go ahead and move along.
Yeah.
Rowdy, what's today's movie?
As above, so below.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's a fun one.
I mean,
it's
there's a couple,
definitely psychological
There's
horror.
a couple good jump scares, but it's more of a mental, like...
Yeah.
I don't find it...
There's a lot of mental fuckery going on.
I probably wouldn't consider this a horror movie in my books. I would say more like a thriller. Like action thriller because of what happens, but...
Okay, to us, yes, but to most people who don't watch horror movies...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a horror movie.
I mean, it makes me uncomfortable. Because... Fuck that. Fuck being claustrophobic and all that shit. Like, I would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, I feel you. Alright, yeah, so the movie starts out with Scarlett. Oh god, what was her last name?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Anyways, main character Scarlett.
It's a found footage film, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you're not into like found footage films, this is definitely not
Absolutely not, because there's like cameras being thrown.
Yeah.
There's cameras falling down. There's a lot of
This is one
there's
I'm
a
actually
there's a lot of
probably
rubbernecking and stuff.
this is one I'm probably glad I didn't see in theaters,
Yeah,
just because it probably would have made me fucking motion sick.
yeah,
Uh, real quick before we actually get into some of this,
yeah. Go ahead.
this is from 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it coming out.
Being
Was super
stoked.
fucking like, I knew about it like a year and a half before it came out, and I was fucking stoked for it. It's directed by John Eric Dowdle.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a huge fucking promotion before the release of the movie, where they actually had tours and like set up like basically what the movie does.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in the catacombs. I mean, if you get on YouTube, you could probably find PewDiePie. He did it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Such bad podcast etiquette, Rowdy.
dude, I'm sorry, my arm itch.
Scratching your arm right by the microphone.
But yeah, so I was super excited about it.
Oh yeah, me too. I was like, Catacombs, Gateway to Hell. I'm about this movie.
Yeah. So
Alchemy, I am 100% in. So yeah, this movie. There was so much hype for this movie.
there was, and I mean, I think I let myself get way too fucking hyped.
I got a little too hyped up. I'll admit it.
Just a little bit though, because this movie surpassed my expectations once I finally watched it. I was like, I'm worried about this being good or not. I remember because the first time we watched it together.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think I let myself get too hyped up about it, but it's still a good movie. It's still one I've watched more than once, so obviously it's better
this
than
is
nothing.
like my 6th or 7th time watching it.
Oh yeah, easily. But starts with the main character.
Mm-hmm.
She is like basically on a treasure hunt. And
Well, she specifically says she's not a treasure hunter.
right, but she's on a fucking treasure hunt.
Yeah.
She's continuing the work of her father. Like following leads, and it starts out she's on a bus like hiding in Iran
Yeah.
and looking for like a secret tomb thing.
Secret tunnels.
Yeah, secret tunnels that are about to get demolished because of construction above it. And she like sneaks in to the tunnels and finds what she's looking for. And then it jumps ahead to her in Paris, where the entire movie takes place. But in the catacombs, which, fuck that.
Wait, you'd want to go see the catacombs?
Oh, I would love to see the catacombs for about 10 minutes and then I'd be done. Alright, that's enough human bone and dark tunnels.
Secret tunnels.
Well, the catacombs aren't secret tunnels.
I just love that scene in Nacho Libre when he's like, "How did you get up here so fast?" And she's like, "Secret tunnels."
But yeah, so they find a few people. One of her friends who she obviously had relations with in the past.
Yeah, the love interest in the movie.
Yeah. She finds him. He likes to like break into old churches and restore their bell towers, like restore their bells. So they find him. He bitches about her getting him arrested in fucking Turkey, getting sent to prison in Turkey. And then they go and find like 3 Parisians to kind of guide them through the catacombs.
Mm-hmm.
And So the first half of this movie, it's so slow.
Yeah, it's a bit of a crawl because it's like exposition, 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 exposition.
Yeah,
And that goes on for what?
fucking
30.
45 minutes.
Yeah, I was
At
going to say
least,
30 to
literally
45
half
minutes.
the
Yeah.
movie at least. And it's like an hour and 32 minutes or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It
Yeah.
makes it feel like a 3-hour movie.
yes, and that's I think one of my big complaints about this movie is it fucking drags. But when shit starts happening, and it happens fast.
Yeah, I feel like they could have compressed some stuff and cut out some shit. And I feel like if whatever they did cut out was not the right shit to cut out.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're like exploring the catacombs, trying to find this one spot.
Secret tunnels.
Secret tunnels. They had this guy Benji with them. Only black guy in the movie.
Yep, and he's making a documentary.
Yeah, he's filming the entire thing, hence the found footage. And they're crawling through this like space where the ceiling's kind of collapsed,
Yeah,
and there's just bones thrown like in this tunnel. So they're crawling through it, and he gets stuck and starts freaking the fuck out.
yeah, he starts having some mild claustrophobia.
Yeah,
And
mild.
yeah, it starts panicking.
His panicking causes the ceiling to start collapsing more. And right before he gets crushed, they save him.
And that's really where the movie takes off, is after that.
A little. I mean, it's still slow at this point, but a lot more stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
They like stumble upon like an old piano and a phone and like all this shit in these catacombs.
Yeah.
Obviously not natural, not supposed to be there, etc. So that's when the paranormal starts. And George, the love interest from before, he walks up to the piano and it's like, oh, me and my little brother used to love to play, but we could never finish the song because the A4 key is fucked.
Yeah.
And
then he plays the
song and hits the A4 key, and the A4 key is fucked.
And he's like, all right, fuck this.
then a phone rings. Scarlett chases it.
Yeah, answers the
it.
phone, and it's her dad.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah,
her dead dad. And he's like, Scarlett, why won't you talk to me?
Yeah.
But
mind you, Scarlett. Sorry, a little backstory on her. She's a archaeologist.
Yeah.
From England, going to school in London, etc. So the phone rings, she answers it. Then there's a guy creeping out of the shadows. And it's the Toop,
AKA the mole.
The mole. He disappeared 2 years prior in the tunnels. So the 3 French people that are with him are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're like, holy shit, dude, you're alive down here?
Yeah, and a little bit more exposition. And then they start following him. And he basically tells them the only way out is to go down.
Yeah.
And he takes them to this spot, and it's like a well. And they climb down, and Benji, once again, his clip breaks.
And gets rope burned like a son of a bitch.
Crazy rope burn, rips his palms off, basically. They end up in a tunnel, and all their hearing gets muffled.
Yeah.
And then loud fucking alarm type sound happens. They go get through the tunnel, and then they end up in this dead end room,
Yeah.
which has like a puzzle for them to fix.
A Ptolemaic puzzle.
Yeah. What the fuck is a Ptolemaic?
And she's Ptolemaic, and she's like, it's basically an ancient Egyptian padlock.
Yeah.
She's like, pull the wrong stone and the roof collapses on us. And they're like, cool beans, we're gonna die.
Yeah. So they, do this, and then they get to this room where there's a, 700-year-old corpse.
Yeah, it's a crusader.
Yeah. Crusader laid out on a tomb. Not rotting.
Yeah, fresh as fuck.
Yeah. Still wet.
Yeah.
And they basically find, a passage underneath the water. Go through it. Boom, they find their treasure. Find the Philosopher's Stone. Which this whole movie is, them searching for the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Find it. Oh shit, it's a trap, as the three are trying to get to the treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of get out of the room as everything collapses. And I think that's when shit actually fucking hits the fan.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably about a good time for an ad break.
Hell yeah, man. Let's hear a word from our sponsors. And we are back.
And Tucker's still a bitch.
Oh, man. Yeah, forever a bitch.
Uh,
I was just complaining to Ratty about making large mixed drinks because, the plastic Coke glasses that you get at a restaurant. Well, my girlfriend used to work at a restaurant, and so she got a bunch of the cups that have little chips in them, in the bottoms and stuff. So when they got new ones, they would just throw these out. Well, she just brought them home. And so they're I don't know, what, 20 ounces?
oh, easily.
Yeah, they're big. And
Well, I would tell you, but I can't read.
this is what we were making our rum and cokes in. And I was just explaining to him that I hate making mixed drinks in such large glasses because
He's a bitch.
I like my mixed drinks to be carbonated.
Well, if you would drink them like a normal person.
And I was explaining to him that by the time you get halfway done with it, because this is a big fucking cup, even to drink a glass of Coke this big, it would take you a minute. By the time you get halfway done with it, your drink's fucking flat, and if you had ice in it, it's all fucking melted, which mine has. And that's what we were bitching about over the break.
Anyway.
No, fuck you, I'm busy drinking.
So we left off with the ceiling collapsing in the treasure room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, girl, that was
Sorry.
sexy.
I apologize. So yeah, they are talking about as above, so below. As I believe the world, then so it be. As on heaven, or as in heaven, so on earth.
On the break, you could have wrote this down.
I know, I could have, but I didn't. But, that type of stuff.
As is the earth, as is heaven, as am I, as are my cells, as is God.
As is Adam, or so my atoms, as is.
Yeah.
But
As
anyway,
above, so below.
Yeah.
It is
It kind of gives you, the gist of what that, means.
what alchemy stands for.
Yeah, basically. And then they kind of find this passageway.
Yep.
And above it, there's an inscription, which I can't read Latin, can't speak Latin.
Yeah.
But what it says is, abandon all hope, he who enter here, which is what is
what is said to be inscribed above the gates of hell.
And so there's a little scene about them freaking out, oh, I thought you didn't believe in this shit. Whatever.
And he's like, yeah, but fuck that.
It's I don't. And then Scarlett starts crawling through the little tunnel and stops, and she goes, and they shall be made to crawl upon their bellies to enter the kingdom of darkness. To George, who was like, yeah, I was thinking that too.
They're like, ah, fuck.
So
We're
Scarlet,
going to hell.
yeah, Scarlet and George kind of realize like we could literally be entering hell right
Yeah.
now. And I mean both of those come from Dante's Inferno and Dante's story, which if you don't know what that is, Dante goes through the 7 layers of hell.
Yeah, read it. It's a good read.
Play the game,
Yeah.
do anything. And I mean,
Watch the animated
yeah,
thing. I
Dante's
think it's on
Inferno.
I think it's on YouTube.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, the animated one.
It was made after the game.
Yeah, I think I think the whole thing's on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure. But
It's a pretty good watch.
anyway, so they basically enter hell.
Yeah.
And they get to the other side and they're like, what the fuck? Because everything's the same.
But flipped.
And then Scarlet's like, no, it's not. Not exactly. Everything is reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, as above, so below. And this is when shit starts going fucking crazy.
Yeah. This is when the kill count starts piling the fuck up.
Surprisingly, there's only 3 deaths in this movie.
Yeah, but like there's only 6 people.
True.
Like
Uh,
that don't fucking matter in this movie.
so when the ceiling collapsed before they get into hell, Latoop kind of disappears.
Well, he
Gets
didn't.
left behind. He doesn't, swim through the tunnel, basically.
I thought he did, and he was because he was just
maybe he
standing
did.
there like he was like fuck, and then the roof collapsed, and remember they were trying to get him
Yeah.
out of the rocks, and they're like, we can't do that. The rest of it'll collapse on us, and so he died.
Yeah.
That it is 100% safe to assume that he died
Yes.
in the collapse.
Yes. And so they're like retracing their steps basically. And they get to the room.
But in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get to the room where the knight was, the Templar was.
Mm-hmm.
And this time he's all fucking rotting and gross.
Yeah.
And they shine a light and it's Latoop.
Yeah.
Who freaks the fuck out when the light shined on him.
Yeah, he was just like fucking sitting there, and everyone's like, fuck me.
Like, what the fuck? And, yes, they shine the light on him,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets up and fucking attacks
Suxi.
Suxi, which is one of the French people.
Yeah.
The French girl that's with him, and literally fucking bashes her head
Into the ground,
into
man.
the, like, stone steps.
And earlier, Scarlet had healed her arm
Yeah.
with the Philosopher's Stone. She like scratched off some of the stone into her arm, and then
Right before they
squeezed it.
entered hell.
And they're like, bring her back, and she's like, the stone can't bring back the dead.
The stone doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And then, so they're retracing their steps, literally going even deeper, what it
Yeah.
seems. They get back to like the same well where they were
Yeah.
and having to climb down.
Mm-hmm.
And so they all climb down except for Benji. And Benji's sitting there.
Yeah, because Benji was kind of having a bit of a panic attack.
A little bit.
Like, he was like, I really don't want to do this again.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so he's like the last one. And they're like, Benji, come on. We gotta go. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And boom. Fucking jump scare.
Yeah, big one.
Yes.
This one's a legit jump scare. It's really good, and it's not a false jump scare either.
Oh, no.
This is the big bad.
Yeah. Especially by this point in the movie. Like, this is the one that made me jump more than any of the others.
Yeah.
And yeah, jump scare, cuts to the bottom of the well, and you hear Benji screaming.
Yeah. Splat.
And then splats on the ground in front of all of them. So, boom, kill 2.
Well, if you want to be technical, that's kill 3 if you want to count the collapse.
I don't, and there's a reason why.
Okay.
And we can talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
The last actual kill in the movie is Papillon? Papillon? Butterfly.
Yeah, I was going to say, which means butterfly.
I was going to say, I actually speak a little bit of French. Thank God for high school.
Right.
Yeah, so he's like the guy who is like head honcho with the French guys.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one that knows everything. They're like running and...
These birds don't shut the fuck up, man.
They're like running, and then they come across like a fire. And when they turn the corner, it's a car fire.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, in the middle of the fucking catacombs.
Yeah, which this car is 100% engulfed in
Yes.
flames.
And there's somebody sitting in the backseat.
On fire.
On fire. And he goes, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. And then, like, gets drug into the fire. And
Yeah,
then,
like
as soon as...
like force dragged.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so,
The guy...
like that dude in the car was definitely a Jedi.
Well, he reached out and grabbed him.
Well, yeah, no,
And
well,
then it, like,
because
all
the whole
fucking went insane.
he was like the force was pulling him in, and then the dude yanked him in, and the car like imploded on itself,
Yeah, and
like black hole style.
into the ground, and then his legs were sticking out
Yeah,
of the ground at his knees.
yeah. Papillon's legs were the only thing left sticking out of the ground, and then they tried to pull him out, and they couldn't, and it was funny. I was kind of laughing because when he got like black holed into the ground, they were holding his pants and his legs and his pants and his shoes, and his pants and shoes like came off,
Yeah,
and his naked ass went into the ground. But that one is a really, really good kill. The practical and the special effects on it are super solid.
yes.
Like, it is so good.
But other than that, that's like the last actual kill.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of shit that happens afterwards. Fucking George gets attacked by what's basically a fucking gargoyle.
Yeah, it's like a
Bodies
statue of like a monk.
No,
But
they're
it's like they're like
it's
demons.
hard to. They were like
They were in the
bodies
stone,
encased in stone.
but then they like came out the stone.
Yeah.
They were like all dusty like statues. I don't know. It's weird. You're not gonna understand if you haven't seen the movie at all. There's some like spoopy, smoky,
Basically,
black cloaked dudes
yeah.
walking around looking like the Illuminati.
George gets bit in the neck by that gargoyle thing, and that's when Scarlet realizes, like,
Oh yeah, the stone doesn't work down here.
Yeah, George recited the alchemy, like the code.
Vitriol.
Yeah, vitriol, which is basically the code for that, like, for alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's vitriol, but every letter stands for something.
It's an acronym.
Yeah, it's an acronym. There we go.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of the word. Sorry.
I got you.
Getting messages about dinner.
Fuck dinner. Dinner's in your glass.
Fuck you. Street tacos,
You
motherfucker.
better bring some back. I fed you lunch.
Yeah, that I made myself.
Hey, it's my food though.
But yeah, so she like realizes, oh shit, it doesn't work like that. Kind of goes through everything again
Yeah, more
to
or
put the
less.
stone back where she grabbed it from,
To find the true stone.
which is inside of everybody, basically.
Yeah,
Is what they're saying.
she basically realizes that down there, she is the stone.
It's what is it? I can't think of the word, but yeah, it's basically like if you can own and forgive yourself for the past and make peace with your own downfalls,
you
then
can
you
make the world
are
what it is.
yeah, you are the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Basically, is what it boils down to.
Yeah, and then she gets like superpowers.
Yeah, basically, and she goes back and she like puts her hand over George's neck and then kisses him, and miraculously he's
He's all better.
like literally on his deathbed, like in middle
Yeah, he
of
was.
death throes.
Yeah, he was about to bleed out.
And she saved his life.
Well, I think at that point he had already bled out, and he was like,
Yeah,
the heart was stopping, and
yeah, in the middle of death throes.
yeah,
And yeah, so he lives Zed, which is the last French guy that's alive, because two of the three that die are French, and so they're like rushing and keeping going, and they're
yeah. Which
come
the
across this-
worst thing that happened to Zed was he got a broken nose. Let's remember that.
yeah, Zed got a broken nose in the collapse from the treasure room
of
before
course.
they entered
Yeah,
hell. Or
of course,
anything.
nothing happens to Scarlet because she's the main character, but everybody else is either dead or
Just about.
should have been dead.
Yes.
And Zed's got a broken nose.
Yeah. And so they come across like this well
Yeah.
as they're running. They're like, "Hey, watch out!" They're like,
Yeah, like Zed almost ran into it, or George. I can't
"Yeah,
remember
somebody
who it was.
about stepped into it," and that's when she like makes them basically accept like their past and like
More kind of like atone for their sins, kind
basically,
of thing.
yeah,
Like come to terms with themselves.
yeah, come to terms. That's a good
And then
way
they
to put it.
would
And then
basically she's like, we must rectify this.
rectify. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because rectify something and to see the hidden stone.
Yeah. So she's like, you must rectify yourself so that you can
Like, we're the stone, not
yeah.
yeah. And then she's like, we have to jump, and they jump.
And this is like the I remember this happening in like another movie or something where like they jump down the hole, but the camera flips halfway down and then they're like basically jumping out of the hole. Except
Basically,
they all land on their
but
asses.
you don't understand that. You just see like the scene of them falling and falling and falling and falling, and then you hear a doof, doof, and they're like, and they all get up, and Zed's freaking the fuck out. Like, we're all gonna die down here. We're all gonna die. And
Yeah,
they're,
because
looking
it
around because
legitimately
looks like the bottom, of the well. And they
Yeah.
look and they see this little thing. It's a fucking manhole cover in the middle
Yeah.
of the well. And they're like, Scarlet and George are trying to pull it up. And they keep pulling, and they do this for a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, it's all pretty well pitch black at this point. And then Scarlet pushes on it.
Yeah, like
Like,
kind of
you
out of
don't know this.
frustration. Like she's like, ugh.
Yeah, like about to slam it. It's like slam it. And like you don't get that until after it happens. Because
Yeah.
that's like they're like, what the hell did you just do? And she's like, I pushed on it.
Yeah, because you see like a light.
Yeah,
like
just
like
fucking
it kind
a
of rings.
yeah, like a flash of light. And
Oh, excuse me.
so they're like, all right, well, like, and they push on it, and
Yeah,
they can't.
yeah.
And they push on it, and it falls back down. And they push on it, and the view it comes back up. But they push on it, and they're like, all right, now push on it and push it to the side. So they do,
And you can see a street lamp.
you can see
and
a
a-
street
and a
lamp on the
tree.
top of a tree,
Yeah.
upside down.
And they're like, holy fucking shit, it's a manhole.
And like they reach their hand up, through it, and then they're like, Zed, the
She's
camera.
like, oh, I can feel the breeze.
They're like, Zed, give me the camera, and they toss the camera up, and then they crawl out, which they crawl
and then
out in the weirdest fucking way ever.
It goes to the view of that camera instead of their lamp cameras.
Yes, which is still upside down.
Yeah, and so it's like, boop.
Yeah. And then they proceed to crawl out of the manhole feet first.
Yeah.
Which, if I was like a passerby, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because, well,
literally,
like,
crawling,
from their perspective,
they're crawling down.
They're crawling down into the manhole. But from, like, say, the camera's perspective, they're coming up through the manhole. And so they're going feet first, and it looks fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking great. But, and then they, kind of hug and then walk away.
Yeah, which I couldn't imagine what that feeling would be like.
Going through that and then just being like...
No. The hole itself, because at some point there has to be a shift in gravity.
Oh, for sure.
And so, like, in reality, that wouldn't work, because as soon as their feet started, like, hit that horizontal plane of where the manhole, once they passed through the manhole cover, gravity would start pushing down on them. And so you'd get about halfway through the tunnel, and you'd be kind of like...
Yeah, you'd be kind
of... It'd be pushing you back down the hole, but it'd also be pulling you up through the hole. You'd be stuck as fuck.
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
But anyways, yeah, they all get out, hug. Zed just walks away. He's like, no,
he, like, gives
fuck
this
this.
Fucking, like, smirk and then just leaves.
Yeah. Tosses his headlamp. He's like, see ya.
Scarlett and George kind of hug, and they walk away together.
Yeah, which you're like, oh, they gon' fuck.
And then it like sets it up for like a sequel. But
you know it's not coming.
Yeah, there's like no way they can do a sequel to this unless it's another like treasure honey bullshit.
I mean, I'd be down.
I wouldn't complain if they can find another thing, but yeah, that's the end of the movie. Credits roll, etc.
So, Rowdy,
yes,
there was a question that you had for me, and I told you I would wait until the podcast to answer it.
God damn it, what was the question?
Had to do with Suxi.
Had to do with Suxi. When?
You asked me why she was the first to die.
Yes. Okay, so the other two. Well, I guess not. Really, the only one that died because of past sins, which I kind of think that Benji died the same way, like due to past sins because of the jump scare, baby crying something and shit. Suxi didn't really like die by a past sin unless she was involved with Le Troop or whatever, or his death, which I mean I guess in a way they were, because they were all like explorers together.
Well, yeah, because in the beginning of the movie, La Toupe said, you guys never even came to look for me.
But he was talking to Papillon.
Yeah, I know, but...
And then Papillon...
Yeah, but who was closest to him? Like, physically closest to him, not like emotionally closest to him. I think it's because she's who he could get his hands on.
Maybe so.
But from a movie perspective, you asked me why she was the first to die. And it's a pretty simple answer. They made no emotional connection for her. She didn't do anything in the movie.
True.
They're like, oh, she's the banshee of the crew, and the whole time you're like, well, what the fuck does that mean?
The same can go for what you just said, where she was the closest one to the troop. So, I guess, I mean, that makes sense, but...
Like, I mean, it could have been Papillon that walked up to La Toupe, and it wouldn't have changed any of that. Like, it would have just been Papillon getting his face smashed in.
But-
And so, because, you know, he was the one who walked up to him first when they first met. And so, like, I think the
there's
way
a bit
she
of
died
that.
and the reason she died was specifically for continuity, like to keep the story moving and stuff, because
Either that or, like we said, bits that shouldn't have been cut out were cut out,
yeah.
type of thing. But the other two, they died, like, because of their past sins.
Well, I don't.
Papillon.
I'm trying to decide on whether Benji died because of past sins.
I'm guessing because of what it was.
Well, the
Your
jump
baby-
scare was the girl that he saw at the club, wasn't it?
But there was a baby crying and all that stuff.
Yeah, but they never talk about anything about that.
But I can chalk it up to that. It wasn't just.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is why.
But then again,
That girl was in the physical world because he saw her at the club. Right?
I don't know.
But then she was also in hell.
Succubus.
I mean, he did turn to check her out. I don't know, but this movie's a big old mindfuck.
Yes, insanely a mindfuck.
Yeah.
Vitriol, though. I pulled up what it stands for.
Mm-hmm.
It's Visita Interioria Tre Rectificado. I don't know. It's basically visit the interior of the earth and rectifying, you will find the hidden stone. Is basically what it stands for. So, yeah, it's also a motto in Freemasonry, which I mean, understandably why.
Yeah. Freemasons are about that philosopher's stone life too.
Yes, and I mean it's just the like being pure.
Yeah.
And like not sinning or whatever, or like rectifying your sins. But other than that, so
1 out of 10 secret tunnels.
no, 1 out of 10 gates to hell.
I'm gonna go with a solid 7.5.
All right, I was about to say 7.
7.5.
Yeah, for me it's a 7.
It's slow. It's a drag. Now, just because it's slow and it drags does not mean the beginning of this movie is not interesting.
Or important.
Yes. The beginning of the movie it does keep your attention. It's just slow.
Yeah, there's not a lot of action in it.
Yeah. It's a lot of just
bits and pieces
talking.
of it, but a lot of it is exposition.
But you're not like, oh my god, just get the fuck on with it. No, you're like, oh okay, so what next? What next?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, like it pulls you in. The any effects, practical or special effects that were used in the movie are fantastic. They're really good. They're really solid. The lighting is awesome and it's used efficiently.
And it's lit in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
what it is. I mean, there's some bits where you're like, that's a little bit too much light for what lights are on. But other than that, yeah. For the most part, the lighting is fucking spot on.
Yeah. And even in scenes that aren't in the catacombs, you're just like the
use a lot of
scene
natural
building.
light.
Yeah, the scene building they did is is like super solid. From a functional standpoint, the movie is fantastic. From a story standpoint, the movie's pretty good.
I was gonna say the story could be better, but
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for like alchemy and
Yeah.
like stuff like this, like Freemasonry and like kind of secret society stuff,
Yeah, me too.
history stuff.
This is
So I was
right
like
up my alley.
super stoked about that. I think my big gripe with it, I think they could have done a lot better in this movie if it wasn't a found footage movie. If it was just more, like, you could tell they put a lot of effort and shit into this being a found footage film.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they did fucking great. It's not no Blair Witch type movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to throw Blair Witch under the bus because, I mean, it's an okay movie. This one did it right, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know, Blair Witch was groundbreaking.
Yes,
but
it was like the first of its kind. So.
Yeah, but it's also not awesome. Like, it's not fantastic. It's a good movie. It's
all right.
It's a good movie. It's worth watching, but it's not fantastic. This movie, it utilized the found footage aspect very well.
Yes.
It used the fact that the cameras can be handheld efficiently. It took advantage of those moments and exploited them.
Yeah, like headlamps that have cameras in them and stuff like that.
And using the camera to achieve angles that, I mean, you can achieve with a set, but makes sense as found footage.
Yes.
Like them throwing the camera through the tunnel to show you the other side.
Yes, or when Benji gets claustrophobic as
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, so, I mean, I get it, but I think they could have done just as good, if not better,
Yeah.
as not found footage.
Yeah, just some, like some of the scenes would just have to be reworked just a little, and it could still be just as good.
Even then, it wouldn't have to be a full-fledged found footage film. When, like, they gave the backstory of, like, documentary footage.
Mm-hmm.
With Benji. For bits that actually, like, that was integral to what was going on, they could have jumped to that.
Yeah.
Kind of like the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's them going through the crime scene, rolling film, and shit, like something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would have been better, I think. Well, not better. They could have easily done like almost a half and half, or 75-25.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That'd be awesome. That'd be an interesting piece to see.
Yeah, I mean, would it be better than this? Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously we got the movie we got.
Yeah.
I do think that they cut out quite a bit.
Oh, dude, it's blatant. It's blatant.
And if they didn't, it wasn't. They cut out in the writing process, not in the filming.
Yeah.
They had to have cut out bits of the story.
Oh, they had to have.
Because Scarlett's dad, you find out he committed suicide after they're in hell.
Yeah. Well, no. You find out he killed himself shortly after you meet Benji, because she said something blah blah blah, and he's like, "So you don't think your dad's crazy?" And she's like, "Why? Because he killed himself?"
Oh. Okay.
It's only one line, but
easy to miss, obviously. Which I've seen this movie twice, or not twice, but more than twice, and I think I recognized that before, but not today.
Yeah, it's only one line, but
I mean, there's bits of story that
they just kind of
really
come out of nowhere. Yeah,
but
and there's like sounds and stuff that you're like, well, that seemed important, but
like in Benji's case,
nothing
baby
came
crying,
of it.
like the baby crying, because right before Benji dies, the first thing that happens is he starts freaking out, and then can hear a baby crying.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it's bits of backstory that's not being explained.
Yeah.
Which I think probably were at some point.
Yeah, it's possible.
As far as everything else, I love the alchemy aspect, the history aspect of it. I wish more movies were like that.
Yeah, so, and it's pretty true to what they're talking about. Like, they didn't make up anything, and
no, it was like
everything's pretty historical. I don't know about the whole secret tunnel, but
morning and night, you know, the son was so jealous of, you know, the love they had that he separated them so they could only touch from the palms of their hands to the balls of their feet or soles of their feet, you know, and like stuff like that. And that's actual, like, in the lore of alchemy and different ancient, you know, beliefs.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's a good movie. I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not like a weekly watch or anything like that.
No.
But it's definitely worth watching, you know, every once in a while. You're like, well, I'm going to sit here and rack my brain for a minute. But we want to know what you guys think. What do you think of alchemy? What do you think of secret tunnels? What do you guys think of the movie As Above, So Below? And there's a few different ways you guys can contact us. Very first off, there's anchor.fm/Beers and Fears podcast. You guys can leave us voice messages on the app itself, and we can listen to them and either reply in voice messages, or we can reply to you guys through the podcast, and you guys can hear it on a future episode. We may even be able to plug those voice messages into our episodes themselves. So if you want a chance to be on the podcast, that's a good way to do it. If you guys don't want to download a whole new podcatcher just to get a hold of us, there's always Facebook. And that's through our business page, Beers and Fears Podcast.
I'll even go through the community page.
Yeah. If you stop by the business page, make sure you like it. We have a giveaway going on, and you guys can find out what that item is once we hit 125 likes, and we will give away said item once we hit 150 likes.
Yes. Instagram has been active for a few, probably about a week and a half now.
Yeah, something like that.
I think there's still a photo war going on.
A little bit. It's kind of died down.
Yeah, it wasn't like the first 2 days.
But, yeah, Instagram's always fun, and that is Beers and Fears Podcast.
Twitter, I think, is at Beers and Fears Podcast as well, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Make sure you guys go hit us up with a follow on that. We would love it. Make sure you guys join our community if you, our Facebook community, if you listen to the podcast. We want to meet you guys. The Facebook community is a place where you guys can share your dank memes, get updates, and behind the scenes stuff. And you guys can also talk to other viewers about what you guys want from the podcast, or like or hate from the podcast. It doesn't matter. The only prerequisite to get in is to answer 2 questions. Very simple. They're super easy questions. You can't possibly get them wrong, even if you've only listened to 1 episode of the podcast.
Literally.
Yeah. You literally only have to listen to 1 episode of the podcast, and you have to look through the library 1 time. Just a big, heavy swipe, and you'll find the other answer.
Yeah. Like, there's no...
And you know what? Just for you guys, today I'm going to answer those questions just this once. One of the questions asks who the hosts of the podcast are. That's Tucker Miller and Rowdy Cartwright. And then the other one asks, what is the first episode of the podcast? It's Insidious. There you go. Those are your answers. Go join the podcast community so we can meet you guys. Give us a shout out, talk to us, send some dank memes, comment on what we have, answer the polls. There's a lot of stuff you can do.
I'll make it even easier. That second question, if you put, I don't know, but the first episode I listened to was whatever, and it wasn't the week or within the month, then we'll accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not what we did that day,
Yeah.
that week, 2 weeks ago. If it's in the month, the current month, no.
Yeah, just put like a throwback episode, like one of the first episodes you would listen to, and we'll accept you guys. We just want our friends.
Hell, first episode that I was your co-host.
Mm-hmm.
The episode that started what it is now.
Yeah.
Literally titled Halloween.
Yeah, simple as that. Put that, we'll let you in. The door's open for everyone. Just answer the questions and we'll get you in. So, don't forget about the giveaway, guys. We really want to do it. It's something special for
we are
just
still
you guys.
sitting at 73 likes on the Facebook page.
Yep, not fun.
No.
We need to get to 125 so you guys can find out what it is. And also, if you guys aren't about the whole social media thing, because I know some of you guys aren't the young kids that we are, but if you guys don't like that stuff, you can always hit us up on a good old email.
Yeah.
That's Beers and Fears podcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
Go ahead, shoot us a message. We reply very quickly.
Did you go over listener support while I went?
No, I didn't. Go ahead, hit it, dude.
Myself. Listener support. Down in the show notes, there is a link, and that link will take you to listener support. Listener support will be like your Patreons or
BBS.
You know, whatever. What that is, if you like what we do, want to keep us doing what we do, want us to get better equipment, more soundproofing, etc. Possibly have guest spots.
Mm-hmm.
Listener support is an easy way to help us do that.
And just straight up bring more content.
Yeah, bringing more content. Listener support helps immensely. So, if you want to do that, every penny counts. We're not going to beg for it, but
Yeah, and if you can't, donate to listener support, that's totally fine. Just head on down to your favorite podcatcher and give us a 5-star rating and a whatever review. I don't care. As long as it's a 5-star rating, you can say, the two co-hosts suck dick and I got cancer from listening to this. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
As long as it's a 5-star review, because local podcatchers like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I believe.
Spotify, almost any of your more like your major mainstream
Yeah.
podcatchers,
They have a rating system.
They have an algorithm that basically will boost
Yeah, the more 5-star ratings, the higher up on the
charts.
we will get. And so when somebody types in horror podcast or drunken podcast or horror or beer or movies or whatever, we will move farther up the line.
Yes.
Until we are number one and everyone sees us no matter what the fuck they type in.
Yes. So, listener support and ratings, reviews. 5-star ratings. Give us fuck all reviews.
Mm-hmm.
When you do those ratings and reviews,